the host of Unfiltered, Dan Bongino, along with the co-host of The Five, Geraldo Rivera. I'll say this to both of you up front. You're both dear friends. Under no circumstances do I want to politicize any of this tonight. Families may not even know the status of their own children at this hour, and yet we have this race, even by the president, to politicize it with, I just find so offensive. But at the end of the day, we have to figure out a way to keep kids safe in school. Dan Bongino, I have been advocating for years. People, retired military, retired law enforcement, outside the perimeter of every school in the country, they can donate their time. We can offer them tax breaks, no income tax in the state, no income tax federally, 10 hours a week, and we could have every school in America covered. People around the perimeter, people in the halls, first responders there. We don't have to worry about police response times. That, to me, seems like a no-brainer. Nobody seems to find that idea appealing. I don't know any other way to keep kids safe, though, then. And metal detectors. Well, and by the way, it'll be a lot less than what we're giving Ukraine with the $40 billion we're sending over there.
Well, a couple things. First, it's too late to not politicize it. I respect where you're coming from, but it's not you doing it, Sean. I mean, the President of the United States just came out in what could have been a great healing moment for all of us to be able to mourn together. I mean, he is the President of the United States. He decided to attack the gun lobby. I wasn't aware the gun lobby was involved in this shooting. Were you? So, again, he's the President of the United States, and in a moment where he could have been a great healer and unifier, he chose that moment to start screaming at Americans and the gun lobby who had nothing to do with it. So I respect where you're coming from, but those days are over, Sean. Cutesy time with these people is over. They don't care. Now, on your second point, you know, this is what I did for a living. You know, operational security and physical security on locations and buildings was a big component of it. Pat was a great guest. The man trap is a terrific idea, because you can't get into the second door in the man trap unless the first door is closed. And they have to operate the second door, meaning if you have a gun, they're just going to trap you between the two doors and you're not going to go anywhere. But I do disagree with him that we don't have the personnel. He's accurate. If you think of it in terms of active police officers in the United States, yes. We can't take one now and put one at every single school, everywhere, and every door all the time. But what you're thinking, where I think you're more correct, is we should expand that footprint. We have a number of retired law enforcement who have the skills, who may not be able to engage in foot pursuits, but are perfectly capable of securing, say, a 2 or 3 acre school somewhere. So I think we have to start to think outside the box. The skills are there. The human capital is there. We can do it. Sean, we just got, you know, what, $20–30 billion in school funding, probably more than that for the COVID thing. You know, we can't go out and take care of some of these schools with security. Come on. We can do better than this.
Geraldo, I would think this might be an area of agreement all three of us can have, and that is you have all of these people trained, retired police, retired military. You know these people well. And, you know, what if they donated 10, 15 hours a week at their local school district? And what if we said, OK, if you do that, we'll give you a break on your income taxes. You don't have to pay it. And you don't have to pay state and local taxes either. It wouldn't even cost us a penny in the end.
You know, Sean, I obviously agree with you about school security. I always have. As the father of 5, the grandfather of 5, this absolutely makes me sick to my stomach. I beg those families to accept our condolences. This slaughter has been something that will live with all of us. It is absolutely horrible when you think of those little babies. I covered Sandy Hook. You know, it is that again. It's these little children, the most vulnerable, innocent beings on earth being slaughtered. You know, the only place you, Dan, and I diverge is it is not, to me, irrelevant that in the last 10 days, 30 people have been killed by 2 18-year-olds with assault weapons. How can you buy an assault weapon on your 18th birthday when you cannot buy a beer? It does not make any sense. I've spoken with President Trump about this. Why not have a juvenile assault weapons ban? Why can't the NRA get behind? If you can't buy a beer, you can't buy an assault weapon. Why is that un-American? How does that violate the Second Amendment?
You know what the problem with, I think, the argument is, and I really, my thoughts tonight are really with these families. But I'll answer your question, and I will tell you, it's predicated on a false notion that evil people with evil intent, you have to be evil to perpetrate a crime and murder an innocent child. And the problem is, by the very nature of somebody being that evil, they're not going to obey, they're not going to listen to any laws, because that is coming from their heart. And if your heart drives you to do something like this, it doesn't matter what's legal or not legal in their world. It matters in your world. I pay all my taxes. Dan pays all of his. As a matter of fact, I usually overpay just to be sure. But in this case, you're asking people that don't have a heart and a soul or a conscience to obey a law they're not going to obey.
Two quick points. One, we have to protect our children with the same vigor that we protect the money in our banks. What's worth more, the money or the children? Why can't we, if we can protect the money,
then
we can protect the children?
Surround the perimeter of every school with law enforcement, retired.
A cop, an old cop, a retired cop, or somebody.
Military, yes, armed too. Armed.
Armed too,
Sean,
absolutely armed. Absolutely armed.
Because
Dan,
can I jump in and just respond to Geraldo? Wait, because I want to respond to your first point. You asked a question. I think I deserve an answer there. You know, over a decade in law enforcement, I arrested a lot of people who had illegal guns. And, you know, they love your idea for gun laws and new gun laws. You know why? Because nobody gives a damn about gun laws.
Kids can't buy assault weapons?
Can I answer the question? Wait,
come on, these are two children who bought assault weapons on their 18th birthday.
Here we go. This is why it's so hard to come on with you, because you just never let me talk.
Go ahead.
I'm trying. I didn't interrupt you, man. Okay, listen. Let's just be respectful of each other in this really harsh time. I'm just telling you in my experience. Yes, I don't want an 18-year-old who's incompetent, potentially mentally ill, and a homicidal maniac to have assault weapons. You and I both agree, 100%. And by the way, I don't even agree with the term assault weapon, but that's for another day, okay? That's an unnecessarily kind of hostile term. There's no such thing there as an assault weapon. But having said that, I'm telling you, you're talking about a obviously psychologically disturbed young man here who walked into his school and shot a bunch of school kids. You really believe like he was sitting there reading a law book beforehand? And I know what you're going to say. Well, maybe we should make it more difficult to do that. But the problem with that is it's a simple-minded solution, because you also make it more difficult for the tens and thousands and hundreds of thousands of others of 18-year-olds out there who've done absolutely nothing wrong and would like to buy a rifle to go hunting.
So what? So what? So what?
We live in a free country.
So what? You're 18 years old. Can you buy a beer? Answer no. Why can't you buy a beer? Because society, in its infinite wisdom, has determined that you're too young at 18-year-olds to buy a beer.
My question remains:
how can you be too young to buy a beer?
Why do you believe people that have no conscience, no heart, and no soul, parents, lost their kids today? Why do you believe the people? Hang on. Why do you believe in any way that those people that are capable of that evil are going to obey your laws? Because I think you're living in a fantasy world.
Maybe I am. But the NRA convention is in Houston on Friday. You have President Trump, you have Governor Abbott, you have Senator Cruz, all scheduled to speak. Don't you think that they should try to suggest some remedy, be proactive? But what are they going to do? What are they going to say other than Second Amendment, Second Amendment, Second Amendment? Second Amendment. The way the Second Amendment is construed now makes me sick. How did muskets become AKs? How'd that happen?
You know,
let me go back to Dan.
Wait, hold on. All right, I know, Geraldo, you've dominated this whole conversation. You're not letting anyone else talk here, Geraldo. You know, for the last 30 years of your life, you've been a very wealthy, successful guy. Nobody disputes that. You could go out tomorrow and buy security if you wanted to. The Second Amendment makes you sick. Why? So the criminals don't care about your gun laws. They love them because it keeps law-abiding people unarmed while they don't give a damn about your laws. I did this for a living. They laugh at gun laws, and they love people like you advocating for gun laws because you can buy armed protection, and they can go in high-crime communities and prey on innocent people who can never get a hold of a gun. Because they actually obey the law.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.